Well, get the elephant in the room out of the way first. The situation.
Are there elephants here?
Yeah.
Not in Holland, I know.
The situation with the stadium, it is not ideal. How have you been able to adjust to the not being away for, or not being at Ibrox for the start of the season?
Yeah, of course, at the first moment, you're surprised about that, and it's not the ideal situation, but that's our life. You always need to adapt. There's no use of having bad thoughts or keep on thinking about things you cannot change. So it's also something that everybody's working really hard on, to be as fast as possible back to Ibrox. It's also one thing that the club did for the fans, for our disabled fans also, and for the other fans, to relocate them and to make things better in the stadium. And then with the shipment, yeah, you don't have control of that. I don't know the precise details, and it's also not important, because at the end for me one thing is important, it's when we are back there. So it's not totally clear yet for the moment 100%, but we're getting to a solution, and that's the most important, looking for solutions.
And that's the one thing you've always maintained since you came in here, that, there are no excuses. You find a solution and you work towards it.
That's the way, because if you live in excuses, you will never get success. Because it's easy to find in life excuses why not to be successful. That's the easiest thing. And of course, along a way to have success, there are difficulties, there are problems, there are situations that you think, what is this? How can we solve this? That's part of the job. That's part of life. So that's the nice things always about winning things or having success in life. People only see the success at the end, but they don't see the path towards that, and it's always with obstacles. And it's like that, so we need to take it like that and make the best out of it.
And you also know that the Rangers fans, no matter where you mentioned last year, if we need to play in a car park, we play in a car park. The Rangers fans will be there.
Yes, but we think also about them, and we try to find solutions that, and the club is looking for that, to find solutions that it's the least, how do you say this? Inconvenient for them. So that's also priority. We could say, okay, we go to play in a big stadium in England or something, but then it's really difficult for the fans to get there, and we want them to be there. They're super important for us. So we're trying to find solutions that is the least inconvenient for them.
It looks like it's going to be Hampden. There's some issues with the pitch there. Are these the sort of things that you have an input in? Do they ask your advice in terms of, where you'd prefer the team to go?
Yeah, we talked about that, but I think first about the fans, like I said. And secondly, the pitch is also super important, so we need to have certain guarantees around that, or otherwise also to have a backup plan, if it's not good enough, that you can first maybe do something else. We will see. So we're not there yet.
It's also been a busy summer for you.
Because it's important to have a good pitch also to play football.
Conscious of the mood of the fans right now. There seems to be a sort of pessimism because of the stadium, the way that the season ended last year, even the circumstances of the cup final, just losing it so late on. Just everyone, it seems that the fans just feel a bit low. Is that? Do you see that as your job to try and lift them and bring back that mood of optimism?
Yes, but I understand as a fan, and if you don't know everything what's going on in the club, everything also that was needed in the club, if you don't know that and you only look to the results, then that you live in the emotions, that's also part of being a fan. So what we have in control is getting better results. I think we were really close in this cup final, and that we were the better team. Everybody said it also after the cup final, but a lot of people has forgotten that already now because the result was not there. So you first need to get quality in a certain level, and then the results follow. It's always the way. You can have luck in moments that you get results with less quality, but not on long term. And it's really important now that the club works on something long term. It's not only the short term and looking at that, because then you always come into the same problems that's been in the past. And a house is not built in one day, Rome was not built in one day, Rangers will not be rebuilt in one day also. So I can say to all the fans that everybody's working day and night towards that. And of course I understand that fans want results. We are working really hard on that. You saw probably the way that some people were walking around today of the players. So they're really tired today. That's why it's also today a recovery day, because they had a few really intensive days, and we need to build that up to make them stronger, make them better, to make them better collectively, to make them better individually, to get good signings in, to get less injuries, to have better prevention, better power, to make them more robust, to score more goals, to get less goals against, all these things. So everybody's very busy with it.
It's been a busy summer for you in terms of the transfers. How would you rate the business you have done so far, and how pleased are you with the guys you brought into the squad?
It's not a good point now to rate, and it never is. Not now this season, and not any season. If one thing I learned about that is to work hard. To work hard with the players who are there. That's very important, and you never know how fast things go, because you're not in control of that, because that's something to do with players you want. You first need to convince them to come, and then secondly, you need most of the time to convince also another team that you pay the right amount of money. So you never know. So you can only make an evaluation the 1st of September. That's my reality all these years. Sometimes it's earlier, sometimes it's later. It can be the last days. It depends on the market also, and experience also after all these years is that in years where you have World Championship or Euros, it goes. The market starts slower also. So we've been really busy already. With watching a lot of players also in this holiday. So that's the balance between work and being off. It was never off, but I was in different places, let's say it like that. And we did already very good things for the future of the club. So I said also at the end of the season that it was the end of a cycle, because I knew we had 6 players out of contract, so we re-signed Leon Belligan. So that's 5 players going out of the building. I knew also that Robbie was desperate to go already in January, so I stopped him in January also to go, because he wanted to play. But I could not give him more minutes because of the level that Jack was playing. And we helped him now also to have fast in this transfer period a transfer, because it's important for him also with the European games to come, that he can train first with the team. And we did that as a club, and it's me and everybody else in the club, out of respect for him for all these 18 years what he's done in the club. So I think you saw the game yesterday. Mm-hmm. So you see already that we have some players coming in who are like the longer term, like Clinton, Yasiala. So he has a lot of talent, but he missed the experience. He needs to learn a lot of things. So I don't expect him directly to be a starting player. The same with Hamza, Igaman. You have other players like Conor Barron, like Jefte, who can be fast already in my eyes. So it's in that way that we had also, and that's not easy, to replace 5 players going out of the building, and with Robbie it's almost 6, without money coming into the club. So that's not an easy thing.
I was going.
It's also today a recovery day because they had a few really intensive days, and we need to build that up to make them stronger, make them better collectively, to make them better individually, to get good signings in, to get less injuries, to have better prevention, better power, to make them more robust, to score more goals, to get less goals against, all these things. So everybody's very busy with it.